everyone. I am here with the Dan Olsen. Dan, how
Hey,
you doing?
James, it's good to be here with you.
It's great to be here
Nice,
with you.
beautiful day.
I know. We just felt like we know that you're at an event. You're very, very busy, but we're so grateful for the opportunity to ask you a couple of questions. And one of the questions is about questions. What types of questions should we be asking to evaluate a franchise or a small business, Dan?
Well, there's a lot of questions, but the main things you want to look at, first of all, whether it's a franchise or small business, is it making money? And what type of money is it making? You don't want to just settle for just a small percentage of profit. You want to look at the bigger percentage. We'd like to see 15 to 25, maybe even 30% margins. So we want to look at the profits. But most of all, how did we get to those profits? We look for a system to follow. Is there a step-by-step process so that I can replicate that and I can jump in and do the same thing that someone else is doing? If you're starting a business from scratch, which there's a lower success rate, it depends on how well you replicate that step-by-step process and model after someone that's already created something that's very successful. If it's a franchise, it's already done for you. You can just find out whether it's the right thing for you. So one of the questions you can see that you'll want to check on is, can I do this? Is it something that fits me? Is it something that I feel I can follow that step-by-step process as the franchisor outlines it to me? And you'll want to check on that very, very thoroughly. The other thing I look at is the startup costs. I don't want to jump into something where it's going to take $1 million to start up, and especially in a franchise. I like to see a lot lower startup costs, significantly lower startup costs, so that most anybody, if they can leverage their 401k, if they can leverage other financing sources, can start a business and succeed by following that proven system that works.
And considering the startup costs and things like that, maybe some people have only like $10,000. Can they get into a franchise with only $10,000?
I've seen it done, and there are some low startup cost franchises, and usually those involve starting from your home, small office. You're not typically going to go out and get a big SBA loan or something like that to open a brick and mortar. So this is more of a small office, home office type franchise where you can operate and bring in your clients. And a lot of times that's more of a business to business type franchise. So there are a few like that. They're selective. There's not a lot of them, but there are some that are very, very successful that you can start for a much lower cost. I prefer the ones a little bit more higher where you can get into a brick and mortar and put that down payment down, get the financing through SBA or other sources, and leverage that, just like buying a home. So if you can buy a home, typically in these days, with the interest rates and everything the way they are, you can typically buy a cash flow producing business with that down payment, similar to what you would put into a home.
That's excellent, Dan. And I'm sure people are, because I mean, there's so many, not only are there different options based on what people can afford, but also their preferences.
Yes.
As far as like different types of franchises, is there any questions that they should be asking, whether they should be in maybe health or the food industry? What kind of questions should they be asking themselves to know what type of business?
Well, that's a good one, because in the businesses that I've been in, I remember when I was in Fantastic Sam's hair salons. It was the world's largest hair salon franchise at that time. And so nobody woke up in the morning thinking, oh, I'm going to go buy a hair salon franchise. So typically, most people don't know. In fact, when someone comes to a business broker and they're looking at a particular business, they see an ad online and they want to go look at that particular business, they go look at it. But most of the time, in fact, more than 80% of the time, if they buy a business, it's not the one they were looking at. They start with that one and they end up finding something different. So you want to leave yourself open to different suggestions and thoughts on what might fit you, because you never know what's going to be right for you. You may go in with a purpose. No, I want to be in the healthcare business, or I want to be in fast casual, or whatever it is. But just go in being open to looking at some other opportunities, because there may be something that you never thought about that your franchise advisor can help you figure out the best thing for you.
That's excellent, Dan. And we have one last question that we wanted to ask is where can people go to find a franchise advisor or to get kind of a little bit of an idea of a range of these different franchises? Where might they go to find that information?
Well, thank you for asking that question because we're pretty partial to that. But you know, over the years, I've had the opportunity and privilege of helping over 1,000 people find that right franchise. And now those people are doing billions of dollars per year in sales. So we have a pretty darn good track record at helping people find that right one. So I'm going to be partial here because I believe in it strongly, and the team that we've put together, they know what to do to help you find the right business that fits you the best. Click the link below, and one of our members of my team will get with you and we'll help you figure out the right process and the right business that will help you and your family to succeed and produce the freedom that we're all looking for.
Thank you so much, Dan, for being with us today. We so appreciate it. This is such valuable information for anyone that's looking into a franchise or starting a small business. And thank you for watching, and tune into Dan's channel and next video.
Thank you.